Hello and welcome to Carspotting. We're out here looking for some cars. It's raining. It's really bad. I would not like to be here, but we're getting it in. Old school. Let's look for some cars. Neighborhood-wise, we're sort of in a no man's land. We're right by the office because we're trying to do this in between doing our regular jobs and going to a meeting. So we have about, I don't know, like 20 or 30 minutes to do this whole show. We're sort of on the edge between like kind of Chelsea meatpacking-y area, kind of in like the teens and 20s. In not quite, we're on the west side. Oh my goodness. All right, welcome to Neon Spotting, New York City. Here we have one of my favorite local bits of neon. This is for the local Museum of Art here. This is the Rubin Museum of Art. I forget who made this, but it's a custom piece. It's been up for the past couple months. Really excellent. Keep an eye out for good neon. Oh, look. It's a Nissan Maxima. Oh, it's a Stanza. All right. Here we go. I knew we'd find a car. Welcome to this 1980s into the maybe early 90s Nissan Stanza. This is from the 80s. This is the super boxy era of Nissan. This is when the company had gone already all the way over to front-wheel drive, which is yet another reason why absolutely nobody remembers these things particularly well. I think this is a B11 or a B12 Bluebird, they called them? In Japan, you were able to get lots of sort of interesting variations of these things. I think you could get an all-wheel drive version, which, if I'm not mistaken, was the first production version of Ateza, which was the same sort of system that they used on the Nissan Skyline. But I can't remember if that's this generation or the one which came shortly thereafter and was basically just like a slightly newer version of this. Man, we are getting rained on. This sucks. Let's get out of here. The reason why I bring it up is it's cool to see such a normal and kind of, I guess you could call it, undesirable car that's still on the road today. Every reason that you would have, that you might see for a car like this to get crushed, you would. But someone is still taking care of it, and it's actually in pretty good shape for something as old and as pedestrian. Not all old cars are Porsches and whatnot. We're looking for this old Nissan 240SX, but I'm not sure we're going to find it. So I'm trying to see if we can find other cars which are vaguely interesting, like maybe that Audi TT that you see. Nardo Gray. Do we care about a new Audi TT in Nardo Gray? God, I really hope we find that 240, otherwise this is going to be just about our worst episode. Not only is this going to be the worst episode for you to watch, this is also going to be the worst one for us to shoot. We're slightly concerned that our equipment is going to break as it's getting rained on. Anyway, please welcome, in this modern car episode of Carspotting, this Audi TT RS. In what I believe is Nardo Gray. And if it's not Nardo Gray, it's one of Audi's other grays, which are rather charming. This is the new Audi TT, which exists for reasons I don't understand. Oh, look! Oh, man. Hey, hi! Hello. We're shooting a show about cool cars parked on the street in New York. It's called Carspotting. And we saw yours from around the way. Is this actually a Nardo Gray?
It is Nardo Gray.
It is Nardo. I'll come over to you. You'll get a little wet. I'm getting even more wet.
No problem.
Even more wet sitting in this car.
Oh my God, that's amazing. How long have you had this car?
It's hers.
Oh, it's yours. No shit. All right, we're going back around. Hi, I'm Raphael.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
So this is your car.
It is.
This thing is sick.
Thank you.
Why'd you pick a TTRS?
It makes me wet.
Yeah, if you want to be like someone who's just like, hello, it's me, sporty car driver, you could get like a Boxster or something. But I think if you want to go absolutely as fast as possible, the RS is going to do it.
It's an aficionado's car.
It is an aficionado's car indeed.
Have you had other car aficionado cars?
I have not.
It's your first,
It is. It's also my first automatic transmission.
No shit. What'd you have that was manual before this?
Passats, Volkswagen Passats.
Oh, no shit. Cool.
An upgrade.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Gotta stick with the German though.
Indeed. I'm going to cut this short so that I can go back to where I'm not getting rained on. I'm so out of my element. Normally I know stuff about old cars. Oh, yeah, the thing about the Audi TT, the first one was like a huge design coup. After a certain point, like the design just kind of, it was old, been out for a while. So they had to like do a revision of it. So they did a second generation. Everyone was just like, this one doesn't quite look as good as the first one. Basically, we really only care about the first one. And now they have gone from the second into the third generation. And really, it is a far cry from the original design. But beyond being a design object and being a car that goes fast, it is like way, 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 way above anything it ever been before. Which is why it is a aficionado's car, as that guy explained. Let's go. Welcome to Carspotting. It's very wet. I'm jumping things. It's a true New York day. So the thing about the Audi TT, that first design was iconic. It was a designer's kind of car. It looked the way it did because the designer wanted it to look that way. It's not like it was the most aerodynamic way to do a car or the most efficient way to do a car. It was exactly just the way that the car designer wanted it to look like. We don't typically lump it in with some of the other retro cars of that era, like the VW Beetle or even the Ford Thunderbird or the Fiat 500. But it in itself was really calling back to like 1930s auto unions and that era of German car. The problem was the car wasn't actually particularly aerodynamically stable, and there became a real a problem for Audi, and very specifically for Audi TT drivers who went very fast. Supposedly the cars were extremely unstable at high speed. Audi had to resolve the issue by sticking on a spoiler onto the back of the car and doing a recall for the cars to get them spoiled, or to despoil them by adding a spoiler, which many people felt really killed the looks of the car. But Audi really felt was necessary so that people wouldn't crash and die. So few cars really exemplify this sort of like design versus performance trade-off like the Audi TT. And so you can sort of track the generations of the TT as going from design most, performance nil, to now being like design a bit, performance a lot. And that is a steady evolution from the very first pre-spoiler models to the current one, which is like all bewinged and despoiled and chin front grip stuff. There used to be a spoilerless TT that parked near the office, owned by, I think, an architect. I know this because I spoke with the guy, not because I'm just assuming he's an architect. And he said that I asked him about it because I didn't know if he had the car, if he bought the car used and then took the spoiler off. But in fact, he bought one of the very early TTs, heard about the recall and the reasons for it, and refused to take his car in. Because to him, it was actually more important not to spoil the lines of the car. He was like, yeah, what's a little, instability at speed? How fast do I go? Definitely worth it. All right, thanks for tuning into Carspotting. This one has been kind of trash. Get it? The trash bins. Anyway, hopefully next week we'll have more of a neighborhood and more interesting cars as opposed to the mostly modern ones we had here. And with that, yeah, if you see cool cars, send into tips@jalopnik.com. And if you need me, I'll be jumping into one of these bins. I didn't jump in. Building spotting. Excellent building. You can't really see it very well from over here. I don't know what this building is officially, but it's one of my faves in the area. Big old department store, very Baroque